Hey, what's going on? Well, this can happen to you. So, if you live in a city, an old city, and you're on a main street, and you got a building or a storefront or a house, what could happen is if there's a sewer problem or a water problem, the water's got to go somewhere. Okay, least path of resistance is probably going to be underground. Man, hold on a second. Come on, get out of here. Sorry about that. And so what happens here is a water line breaks, and the least path of resistance is somebody's basement. So this is a basement, okay? And what happens is it kind of just fills the basement up to the ceiling. And you'll get all kind of sludge. There'll be sand down here, which is from backfill, or this white, weird-looking stuff, which could have been some type of underground fillers, slurries and things like that. And you can see how high up this water gets. So when that happens, it kind of damages everything in your basement. Not necessarily structural damage to walls, okay, but it does cause mold and mildew and moisture. And then how do you clean all this stuff out, okay? Then the other issue is now you got to go to the city and prove it was them, and it's going to take a long time. You'll probably have to hire a lawyer, and make sure you get a lot of photos. Whenever you see something that isn't right or might not be right, like they're digging on your front of your street, they're cutting the floor, the ground, take a few photos. If it rains and it floods, take a few photos. If you see this, actually this particular person couldn't get down here because it was filled to the ceiling, and then it turned to ice. So it took a while. But after they drained the water, they pumped the water out. Look what happened. So look at the electrical boxes. You can see how high up that was. I mean, somebody had to clean all this up. All the stuff was ruined. Make sure you always take an inventory, especially of everything you own in your basement. The best inventory to do would be once a year. Just take a video camera and just walk through your basement. Kind of go slow, and everything that's on the video will be on later on. If you gotta go back to the video, you can look. Oh, I had 2 cans of W. You know what a can of WD-40 cost? 6 to 10 bucks, right? Think about that can of paint, 30 bucks. Little teeny things, they add up to thousands and thousands of dollars. So make sure that you go measure everything. Not measure everything. Go take pictures of everything in your basement, especially the contents in it. And then there's never a question, okay? They can't argue that you didn't have a fan down there, or this was a cooler. I mean, is a cooler going to work? No. And even though it's old, who's going to fix this thing? And you have to buy a new one. You know what a new one cost? It could be $4,000, $3,000. So these old things, just they made to try to depreciate it on you too. So you want to be careful too. Read your policies. Make sure, and I'll tell you what. If you're in an area where you think you might want to pay extra for that flood insurance, do it. I mean, it's like a life insurance policy, And I'll tell you what, one flood like this can cost, you'll never know because you'll throw the stuff out that you probably never used anyways. But if they're insured, you'll get a nice check, So, you could have $30,000 worth of stuff down in your basement that you don't even know. Flood insurance, pretty important, okay? Another thing you want to do is pay extra. Look at that. Do you think that's going to work? Another thing you want to do is you want to not only get flood insurance, but get mold and mildew insurance. Only because mold and mildew, they only give you like $5,000 or something, but it's a lot of money. So, cleaning up carpets is very difficult when you have a smelly house. You can just throw them out, get new ones, or curtains, or furniture, cloth furniture. You have a moisture event, it's going to get humid in there, and things are going to grow, and you're going to wonder why that couch now smells and it never smelled before. Unbelievable. Pay and get your backup flood insurance, or water backup insurance is called, okay? Because if this happens to you and you don't have it, you're going to lose a lot of money. And it's not, a lot of people don't, a A lot of people don't. I mean, think about how many wheelbarrows of dirt had to come out of here because when the thing flooded, all the soil from outside under the sidewalks and all the sand went in here. We're talking tons and tons of dirt. Now you got to try to dig that dirt up and carry it out in 5-gallon buckets. And where are you going to take it? Big money. Cleaning up something like this is big money. And you can bet your life the city's not going to answer the phone. You're going to be calling that city all day long. You're going to have to send them a letter from your attorney before they read it. So you might as well, try to collect some insurance money on this right off the bat. Insurance companies will come out and they'll take care of this if you paid extra for it. So pay. Look at that. That's a pile of sand you're looking at with muck on the sides. And of course, you'll find later the city will find out about the break, and they'll be out there in the street fixing it. They ain't gonna tell you about it. So this video is all about your insurance policy. Think about it hard. If you get flood insurance, backup insurance, mold insurance. Now, if you live in a flood zone, you're going to have to pay extra for flood insurance anyways. I'm not sure I'd want to live in a flood zone because floods, with our luck, they always happen anyways. And then, of course, how much of it do they cover? What's a deductible? So read all that. So check your insurance policies and pay the extras. Hey, real quick, I do have a service on the internet. You just Google Call Marko with a question, Marko. Call Marko with a question, and I'll solve any house problem you have that nobody else can. I've been doing this for 40 years. I've done 18,000 homes. I'm an engineer, and I have all these environmental licenses, or had. And so I can pretty much help you out with any issue you have in your home, whatever it is. It's odors, structural, fences. It doesn't matter. Usually what people can't figure out or have contractors figure out, or when contractors screw stuff up, we do it. So down below, I got a few links. I'm an Amazon affiliate. If you buy stuff from me, that's great. Also, I have hit the bell button to rate, subscribe, ring the bell for future videos. So like, share, subscribe, call Marko with a question. Thanks for coming on.